Collegiate in Saskatoon. Premier League high school basketball is on Shaw TV. Good evening, everybody, from Bedford Road. I'm Simon Hyatt, once again alongside Scott Hawley, as we have a doubleheader of high school championship basketball coming your way tonight. Game one of our doubleheader will be the final game of the Girls Premier League, as it will be Aden Bowman taking on St. Joseph. Two relatively evenly matched teams, Scott, when we take a look at them. Two very good defensive teams as well. The two teams that give up the fewest points in the league. Perhaps a difference maker as we look at the individual players for Aden Bowman might be Ashley D'Souza Martins.
Yeah, she's a dominant force in the post, and in a rock fight like this, defensive battle, dominant presence, get down low might be the difference.
Game two coming up after that one. It will be the championship game on the boys' side, as we will have St. Joe's taking on Marion Graham. Interesting matchup there as well. When we're talking about St. Joe's, obviously one of the best teams in the province, if not the best, trying to complete the perfect season. Perfect on the regular season, rolled through the playoffs, but Marion Graham's obviously a very good team as well, and of course, they also have Alexander Dewar, another outstanding player.
Yeah, they'll have the best player on the floor, but St. Joe's has got a number of guys who can all run, pass, shoot, dribble. Usually the collection is greater than the sum of the parts kind of thing.
Absolutely. So we know both of the teams in both of these games will be advancing to Hoopla next weekend in Prince Albert, of course, the provincial championship. Three teams, however, from Saskatoon on each side go, so the other team was determined just a little while ago this afternoon. Let's take a look at the highlights from the third place games on the boys and girls side, starting off with girls basketball, as it was Walter Murray taking on Centennial, and what a game for Caitlin Jacobs, number 12 for Centennial. She ended up with 27 points on the night, 19 for Courtney Primo, 18 for Carly Soderberg in the win for Centennial. They go on to win 78-71, but gotta talk about Emma Engen. Great steal here. She ended up the night with 32 points in the game, 13 for Risa Hawks, 6 apiece for Kate Thorstad and Katie Wingren. But it is Centennial winning and advancing to Hoopla next weekend in Prince Albert. Moving on to the boys matchup, it was Holy Cross taking on Evan Hardy in this one. Outstanding game for Baha Salma from Holy Cross. He ended the night with 18 points, 17 from Josh Rutten, 14 for Mitch Wagner, as Holy Cross down to Evan Hardy in this one, 78-62, the final score in this one. We've got to mention Andrew Campbell on the Evan Hardy side of things. He ended up with 23 points, 14 for Brolin Symes in the loss, as Holy Cross punches their ticket towards the provincial championship tournament next weekend in Prince Albert. So that field's starting to get set. Right now we got to determine who is going to win the city titles in boys and girls basketball. Boys matchup coming your way a little bit later on. But up next, it is girls basketball, the city title championship to be determined. Stay tuned, coming your way next on Shaw TV. Just about ready to tip things off from Bedford Road Collegiate City Championship game, girls basketball. Aden Bowman Collegiate coming in at 11-3. St. Joe's also coming in at 11-3. Aden Bowman took both of the matchups between these two teams this year. Told you about it in the opening. Ashley D'Souza Martins jumping for Aden Bowman. She controls the opening tip into the hands of Haley Poyer. Also out there, number 9, Katie Primo. Number 10, Ella Weed. Quick turnover out of the gate here for Aden Bowman. St. Joe's wearing the black uniforms with the silver trim, heading in the other direction. Give you their starting lineup. 5, Abby Hansen. 6, Kara Miskey. 7, Malia Schwitzer. 9, Alex Mann. And number 21, Alicia Hishka on the run, looking for the first points of the night. Unable to get them to drop, however, is Ella Weeb after forcing the turnover. Just underway in this one. Simon Hyatt, Scott Hawley with you from Bedford Road Collegiate. Both of these teams will advance to Hoopla next weekend in Prince Albert. But the city title on the line, shot from the corner. That one off the mark for Kara Miskey. Back comes Aden Bowman, still looking for the first points in this one, just about a minute in. Working her way down low, putting it up once again, no good. Ella Weed, put back though, that one will drop for Haley Poyer. Aden Bowman being coached by Nicole Poyer, certainly a well-known name around these parts, the mother of Haley Poyer.
Seems like I know a lot of the parents of the kids now. It's a sign of our age, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
all of our peers have kids playing in high school championships.
Ball out of bounds. We'll stick with St. Joe's. They're down by 2 early going in this one. Schwitzer gets it in. Good read, though, by that lady, Ashley D'Souza Martin. She's going to go on the run. Goes high off the glass. That one won't go. There to scoop the loose ball. Anna Weeb will get a whistle. Foul going against St. Joe's.
St. Joe's having some turnover problems early. They were running some solid pick and roll action the first couple trips down, but they just can't seem to keep a handle on the ball. It's going to be costly in a game that looks like it's going to be a bit of a defensive battle.
That foul on Alex Mann, her first. Team's first. Top, it's Weed. Now she's looking down low. That one off the mark. Back over to the Guardians.
Number 14.
Couple of substitutions for St. Joe's. First shift of the night, 10 Paige Johnson, 14 Hannah Smith. Switching up the look early on the Guardians. Attacking underneath, looks like some contact there. Good defense though, they say, as the shot denied from Kara Miskey.
It was a strong drive, just needed a bit of a pull-up there a little earlier.
Getting in some trouble. Weed, she gets it back outside for Martins. That shot off the mark. St. Joe's comes away. It's Abby Hansen controlling and bringing it into the front court. Miskey, she'll put up the long shot. That one off to the side. Offensive board for St. Joe's. Schwitzer now looking to drive. Foul on the floor.
Yeah, Joe so far being really aggressive, taking the ball to the rim. Over the course of the game, that's probably going to pay off, although D'Souza Martin's down low is a solid presence in the middle. They might not be able to get all the way to the rim, might need to penetrate, pull up, or kick it out for open shooters.
Hansen kicks it out for the long shot. That one rattles around, won't go for Malia Schwitzer. St. Joe's still looking for their first points. Long outlet pass, easy lay-in. Good awareness there by the Bears there to finish it off. Katie Primo.
St. Joe's just did not get back at all. They actually missed her for a long time, and she was still open for a wide open layup.
Paige Johnson controls, finds the cutting Hannah Smith. Turnaround shot, there's the first basket of the night for St. Joe's, 3 minutes into this one. So Bowman with the 2-point lead. Primo looking to drive, baseline ball knocked out of bounds. Will stay with Aden Bowman, 11 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Poyer handling the inbound duties. Finds Ella Weeb. Weeb trying to find an open lane, puts it up. Shot won't go, but it will be a pair of free throws for Weeb. So we got a foul on Kara Miskey.
Yeah, Bowman so far hasn't really established much of an offensive identity in terms of moving the ball around. They're attacking the rim hard though, and good things are happening.
Well, short on the first free throw attempt for Ella Weeb. A little closer on the second one, but neither will go. So remains a 2-point Bowman lead. Open look from outside. Abby Hansen for 3, that one long. Looking deep. Susan Martins finds her teammate, Katie Primo. Back up top now for Poyer. Ella Weeb. Makes a move through. Dishes for Martins. Martins can't get the roll. Second chance though. That one will go for Aden Bowman. It's Anna Weeb to clean it up. 4 minutes into the first quarter of this championship final. 4-point Aden Bowman lead. Nice touch from outside. Malia Schwitzer. Schwitzer's first points of the night. Makes it a 1-point game. A little bit of trouble there at mid-court, very nearly leading to a turnover. Susan Martin's able to keep it alive. She looks to drive with it and will draw contact as she works her way through.
Yeah, St. Joe's little pressure there. They got the trap at half court, and they just weren't able to rotate properly. D'Souza Martins gets another pair of free throws, but they had it. They just didn't rotate quite fast enough.
Peyton Toms into the game. Jenna Redding as well for St. Joe's. Toms wears 4, Redding wears 11. As D'Souza Martins hits the front end. Second one won't drop. 2-point Aden Bowman lead. 5.5 to go first quarter. Picking up the dribble is Redding. This is Peyton Toms, fresh into the game. As is Jenna Redding. She turns it over into the hands of Anna Weed. Now Bowman will look to go on the run once again, spinning her way through. Getting the shot blocked, however, is Haley Poyer. Good defense. Good recovery there by St. Joe's as Bowman had the fast break opportunity. Then they end up turning it over. D'Souza Martins there to pick it up. She'll slow things down, get it in the hands of Anna Weed. Check it into the hands of Poyer. This is Ella Weed. Weeb on the outside, she hits, that's a 2.
That was a really good offensive set by Bowman that time. They had the roller and they had the 3-point shot, although it was a long 2.
Yeah.
That was a really good look with multiple options. St. Joe's needs to get a good look here. Turnovers everywhere.
More good defense from Hannah Smith, forcing that one as well. Yeah, St. Joe's needing to do a better job of taking care of the ball. Jumper here, nice touch, Anna Weed. She's got 6 points in the early going. Not a real surprise here. St. Joe's with an early timeout is, you're right, they look out of sync, just not able to take control of the ball.
No, they're really sloppy on offense, and they're just open court turnovers, which lead to points going the other way. So they really need to figure out a little more ball security, make sure that they sort of relax. I mean, city championship games, sometimes the nerves are wound pretty tight. So you just kind of almost have to just tell them to take a breath. I mean, they know how to play. They know what they're doing. I would suspect a lot of this is just early jitters.
St. Joseph Guardians, coached by Megan Coral. A bunch of familiar faces over there on the Aden Bowman side of things. Our old high school classmate, Barkley Patterson. Although I think Barkley's a year younger than us, as I recall. Also over there with Marcy Halseth. You may remember her as Marcy Kislik during her time with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. Outstanding basketball player in her own right. We told you about Nicole Poyer, who actually works here at Bedford Road Collegiate, always a fixture during the Bedford Road Invitational Tournament, but with the opportunity to coach her daughter, coaching at Aden Bowman. Coming out of the St. Joe's timeout. They're down 11-5, 4:20 to go first quarter with the ball. Hanson gets it ahead into the hands of Redding. Redding will look to drive. Now she'll kick it back outside for Hanson. Hanson for 3, short on that attempt. Gets the rebound on her own miss, takes it in off the glass and in.
Yeah, that was an outstanding possession coming out of the timeout. They got dribble penetration, kick for a wide open shooter. It was a great shot, even though it didn't go in. Still got the offensive rebound in the shot. So that was a great post timeout possession there for St. Joe's.
First points of the game for Hanson. And Harriet loses the handle for the Bears. Harriet playing her first shift wearing number 12 for Aden Bowman. Alicia Hishka trying to bounce it inside. St. Joe's lucky to keep it alive. Shot clock reset. It shouldn't have, so I think that's why we've got the stoppage. Checking in for the Guardians, number 6, Maria Schweitzer. Will allow the St. Joseph substitutions. Kara Miskey, Avery Fallman in. Miskey started wearing number 6. Avery Fallman wearing 8, playing her first shift. For the Guardians, who are down 4, just under 3.5 to go first quarter. Miskey picks up the dribble. Long shot, well short. Good defense from Aden Bowman. Hanson unable to find it with a hand in her face.
Yeah, tough possession again. They're just, one way or another, they need to get the ball in the paint, whether it's dribble penetration or post entry. They really have not been able to get it into the post. Their post entry passes have been pretty sloppy.
Maybe an ill-advised pass there from D'Souza Martins, looking a little bit too deep on that one. You can see St. Joe's read it all the way, running take. That one won't drop for Hanson.
And I like the pressure from St. Joe's.
Yeah.
They've gotten good results. Like, you know, whenever they've run it, they've gotten Bowman flustered. I think they need to keep pressuring and keep extending that defense.
Underneath, Guardians will come away with another Bowman turnover. St. Joe's trying to cut into that 4-point deficit. Hishka, turnaround shot, high arcing shot, nice touch. That'll make it a 2-point game.
It's back over.
Very nearly, and it is. Yeah, you called it. Backcourt violation. And
well, really, it could have been a travel before the back
right.
over. I mean, St. Joe's totally has Bowman flustered with this pressure.
Yeah, you talked about the magic of that timeout. Boy, oh boy, did that work well for St. Joe's on both sides.
Should have called a timeout before tip-off. Got off to a better start.
That would have flustered him, really. Wait, what's happening? Alex Mann back into the game for Aden Bowman. Paige Johnson out. Good defense here by Aden Bowman's Haley Poyer coming away with. She gets it ahead into the hands of Sydney Dillman. This is Primo up top. Back to her left, now spinning her way through, looks to take it all the way. Great take by Katie Primo.
Yeah, it's a great take by Primo, and if you're St. Joe's, the help's got to come. You can't allow a dribble drive from that far out with change of directions and no help coming through the paint.
Looking for a drive on the other side. Not the same level of opening for Miskey, but St. Joe's gets it right back. Another chance. Might have been a walk there. Long take. Nice touch from outside. 1-point game is burying the three-pointer, Avery Fallman.
A turnover or a bad possession here, and Bowman might need a timeout of their own.
Minute and a half to go. First quarter of play in this championship final. Picking up the dribbles, Harriet. Sousa Martins. Now Poyer looking to attack. That one won't go, but there for the follow. D'Souza Martins puts it away.
Yeah, when you have the biggest, best player on the floor, you probably want to block her out. Can't let her get easy points in the offensive glass. Make other players beat you.
Bounce pass into traffic, intercepted by D'Souza Martins. I was about to say D'Souza Martins obviously not worried about doing the ball handling for a big. Almost gets it stolen, and then we will get a tie-up. Possession arrow favoring St. Joe's. Down 3, under a minute to go, first quarter. Number 45 is looking to drive as Bowman get it to go. Chance at a 3-point play.
It's a strong take to the rim. If you're going to foul, you want to make sure that ball can't get up and over. And again, for Bowman, same thing as we were talking about with Joe's on the other end. Help defense has to come. Right, a drive from the top of the key. Have to slide over and stop the ball from getting to the rim.
I said it was Fallman. It was actually Kara Miskey. One of the unfortunate things about those St. Joe's uniforms is 6s and 8s look awfully similar. And for St. Joe's, Miskey does complete the 3-point play, and that'll tie things up at 15 as we approach 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Sylva Martins ahead into the hands of Harriet. Now this is Primo. She'll pick up the dribble. Double team picks her up. She has to get it over. Poyer, nice touch as time gets short.
Perfect timing. Clutch shot.
Shot clock off. 2-point lead for Bowman. St. Joe's with the ball down to 9 seconds. In the first quarter, losing the handle and then putting up an awkward shot well off the mark for Fallman. Still 2 seconds to work with. Second one won't go. So a couple of chances there for St. Joe's to perhaps tie this game up heading to the second quarter. But considering the way this one started, I think they're probably okay being down just 2 after 10 minutes of play, Scott.
Yeah, the first quarter was sort of a tale of two halves. Sloppy play, a lot of turnovers from Joe's in the first half, and then the second half, Bowman returned the favor. The pressure from St. Joe's got them right back in it, started turning Bowman over, got them uncomfortable. And I would say right now at this point, the pace and the sort of momentum favors St. Joe's right now.
17-15 our score after 10 minutes of play. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching high school championship basketball on Shaw TV. High school championship basketball action from Bedford Road Collegiate in Saskatoon. Girls final in the Premier League between Aden Bowman and St. Joseph. Entertaining first quarter of play in this one. A 2-point lead for Aden Bowman at the break, but a good second part of the first quarter surge, as you mentioned, Scott. And no real surprise. We expected these two teams pretty evenly matched, both 11-3 on the regular season, although Aden Bowman swept the two matchups. This is pretty much the kind of game we were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be kind of a rock fight. A lot of opportunistic baskets. Defense is going to be at a premium, and taking care of the ball, right? You're just going to make sure you solve the turnover issue for both teams. Imagine that's what Bowman was talking about during the quarter break, is handling that pressure a little bit better.
Bowman with the first possession of the second quarter, and the 2-point lead, trying to make it 5 was Sydney Dillman. That one off the mark. Another offensive board for the Bears. Bounced in for Martins. Now back out, long look. That one well off the mark for Katie Primo. Loose ball once again tracked down by Bowman. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Martins trying to push her way in. Now down to 5. Open look from outside. Sloan Harriet for 3. That one no good. Momentarily had it in the hands of Hannah Smith of St. Joe's. Ends up getting knocked out of bounds by Haley Poyer. So over to the Guardians. Subs for the Bears. Maya Thackor wearing number 3. Ella Wiebe wearing 10 back into the game for Bowman. Just underway, second quarter of play. Simon Hyatt, Scott Hawley, the whole Shaw TV team. Ball out of bounds as losing her footing was Paige Johnson. So back over to the Bears. Guardians staying in that pressure. Worked well for them in the first quarter.
You can see in that shot as well there, Anna Wiebe was getting a little bonus coaching over there from Husky legend Dean Wiebe.
Another turnover. Long touch from outside. First lead of the game. Abby Hansen for 3. Yeah, it's really amazing, you know, being here all day and watching all of these championship games and the third place games, just how many legendary figures there are. We saw Greg Jockums here, his daughter, an outstanding game in the third place game. Nice touch on the inside as Haley Poyer hits. So many legendary figures. We had Matt Forbes, of course, another Husky legend, assistant coaching the Evan Hardy boys team. Running take, that one won't go for Paige Johnson, but love the basketball community in Saskatoon and how involved they stay in the sport even after their own playing careers come to an end. Including the fella sitting to my right.
Hey, shout out to the Lakeview Crispier Bacon.
Right.
Speaking of kids who played really well today. Zach and his teammates.
They had a big championship game victory, Coach.
Yeah, mini boys A-Division champions.
Friendly roll here for Hannah Smith. Back to a 1-point Guardian lead.
And St. Joe's is really shooting the ball so well in the second half of first and continuing in here into the second, allowing them to get into that defensive pressure.
Great take, open look for Aden Bowman's Katie Primo, just couldn't finish it. So now with that rare lead for St. Joe's in the other direction. Shot no good. Good defense denying Paige Johnson's attempt on the inside. Triple teamed at mid-court, ends up in the hands of Poyer. Now this is Thackor into the key, she'll draw contact.
Yeah, that was a little bit sloppy. I don't think they wanted to send 3.
Right.
They wanted to send 2 and then have somebody available in the middle to stop the pass. As it turned out, they ended up getting burned on the other end, committing a foul.
Anna Wiebe back in for Aden Bowman. Malia Schwitzer and Alex Mann back in for the Guardians. This is Thackor up top to receive the long inbound pass. And then a little miscommunication between Thackor and Wiebe as Wiebe started to make her move towards the basket. Pass goes sailing out of bounds. So 1 point St. Joe's lead. Just over 7 to go, first half of action. Good defense from Aden Bowman, blocking the shot, knocking it back, Ella Wiebe. Susan Martins comes up with a loose ball, tries to get it ahead into the hands of Poyer, ends up going out of bounds once again.
Yeah, Bowman needs to find their poise here. I mean, it really is, it's only man-to-man pressure, so they need to be just a little bit more patient and not worry about rushing and trying to get the ball out of their hands quite so fast.
Peyton
Nice
looking
entry
inside,
pass.
wide open look underneath. Hannah Smith. Largest lead of the night at 3 for St. Joe's. Bowman led the majority of the first quarter of play. A scrambly play, getting up into the air. Ella Weeb lucky to keep it alive for her Bears, and then gets the rebound. Put back, chance at a three-point play for Weeb.
That was a nice offensive rebound and putback. She just kind of snuck in on the weak side there. Joe's actually had 4, almost 5 defenders in the paint there, so for Weeb to kind of get that little weak side rebound was a really good job.
Alicia Heshka back into the game for St. Joe's, sending Hannah Smith to the bench. Weeb to the free throw line, looking to complete the three-point play. She does. That'll knock things up at 22. 6:17 to go first half in this championship final. Mann gets it over into the hands of Schwitzer. Schwitzer on the drive, can't find the opening. Silva into the front court. This is Weeb. Went off the foot of a player. Bowman keeps it alive, running. Kind of awkward shot for Thacker.
Yeah, that's a bad shot. You just can't give away a possession like that. You can get a much better look with a little bit more patience and ball movement.
Heshka. Back outside. This is Toms. Move to her right, almost losing the handle. Heshka looking to drive. Can't get anything. As a little bit of contact, though. I think a good no call as Heshka was driving. Leaves back outside. Thacker, better look this time, hits for 3.
And that's what's available right now. Both defenses actually are really packing the paint, and they're daring them to shoot from three-point land.
This is Schwitzer on the outside, being marked by Weeb. Now into the hands of Peyton Toms. She tries to go by Thacker. Thacker loses the handle. Some contact there on the loose ball. We'll get a foul against St. Joe's. It'll be Heshka picking it up. Paige Johnson back into the game for St. Joe's. That'll send Heshka to the bench. Three-point Aden Bowman lead. They've got the ball. 4:50 to go first half. Thacker. Too many steps, just shuffled a little bit as she tried to make her move.
She was undecided. She was going to throw it into the post. Kind of decided against it, but the post was open. She should have. And then she kind of shuffled, and she was sort of half making a move and half trying to decide what to do there.
So back over to the Guardians, down 3. Schwitzer draws the double team. Got off a pretty good shot, all things considered, as drew contact. Foul will go on Aden Bowman's Ella Weeb, her first. Schwitzer to the free throw line. Katie Primo back into the game for Aden Bowman. Schwitzer hits the front end. 4.5 remaining. Schwitzer good on both. Make it a 1-point game. Good pressure there by St. Joe's. A chance at another take. Schwitzer on the spot. Gets the steal, puts up a shot, draws the foul.
She did a great job undercutting that pass. Bit of a lazy pass, but she did a great job undercutting it, and then drawing another foul. You know, it's a 1-point game, but it does feel like Joe's is kind of dictating the pace still.
Yeah.
And they're really sort of keeping DeSouza Martins from being a dominant force just by keeping it up and down game and keeping her sort of way away from the basket, needing to really help in terms of bringing the ball up, keeping her 90 feet from the rim and really out of that offensive rebounding range, out of the post. They're doing a really good job.
25-24 our score with 4:27 to go. First half of action in this championship final. How did these teams get here? Well, let's do a recap of the playoffs in the Premier League in girls basketball. Aden Bowman down to Tommy Douglas 71-39 in the quarterfinal, and then beat Walter Murray 39 in the semifinal. Over on the other side for St. Joe's, they thumped Bethlehem 81-43 in their quarterfinal. St. Joe's then had a good one against Centennial, 80-73, the final in that semifinal. We saw St. Joe's playing in that third place game. Congratulations, or pardon me, Centennial playing in that third place game. Congratulations to them as they've advanced on to Hoopla next weekend with that 78-71 victory over Walter Murray. A really entertaining game this afternoon. Hopefully that's the trend we will see here. This is a good one as well. And of course, we've got game 2 coming your way a little bit later on. It'll be the boys championship game. That'll be a good matchup as well. St. Joe's looking to remain perfect on the season. They'll be taking on Marion Graham in boys basketball. Tying the game up at 25 is Malia Schwitzer. Now a chance to give her Guardians the lead. Schwitzer good on both. Hit 4 free throws in a row. That gives her 7 points on the night. Weeb gets it into the front court, looks to run all the way, had a decent look, can't get it to go. Loose ball, that one scooped up by Poyer. And we get a loose ball foul against St. Joe's. Only Schweitzer picks up her second. 4th team foul, so the next one will mean free throws. Lob pass there, it looked like from D'Souza Martins. Again, Aden Bowman lucky to keep it alive. Time getting short on them, down to 3 seconds. Gonna have to be a long heave. Pretty good look at it, all things considered, for D'Souza Martins. Just got the back of the rim.
That was a great defensive possession for St. Joe's. Bowman didn't get that ball anywhere near scoring range, really. They didn't even actually look at the basket that whole time.
Too many steps there. Good hustle play by Ella Weeb. Just couldn't quite control the ball and get that dribble before she took that last step. So back over to St. Joe's. Up top, this is Hansen. Gets the high screen. Toms. Now Schwitzer will put up the long shot. She hits for 3.
She's had a strong second quarter here on both ends of the floor.
Schwitzer now into double digits in scoring with that 3-pointer. Giving St. Joe's the 4-point lead. 3:17 to go first half. Picking up the dribble. Weeb. Nice drive, rolls along the rim, won't drop for Katie Primo. Second chance for Aden Bowman. Primo on the outside, time getting short. She doesn't know it. Shot clock didn't expire.
Well, it should have expired.
Should have expired because the shot didn't hit the rim, but I don't think Weeb realized it. And good defense on the other side by D'Souza Martins to knock it away. Doesn't matter, from the corner for 3, Schwitzer again.
She might burst into flames at any minute here.
Largest lead on either side. 7 points for St. Joe's. Nice little run for them here. Aden Bowman looking to claw back. Nice touch. Anna Weeb with the jumper. She's up to 8 points on the night to lead Aden Bowman.
And that was a huge shot by Weeb. They needed that basket so badly with the run St. Joe's is on right now.
2:20 to go, second quarter. Foul on the inside. This one will go against Haley Poyer.
Foul charge to number 7, Haley Poyer.
Alex Mann will head to the free throw line looking for her first points of the night. Third team foul on Aden Bowman. Good free throw shooting in the early going from St. Joe's. Schwitzer had hit 4 in a row. Now Mann hits both of hers. Guardians now back to that 7-point lead, staying in the pressure. Bowman a good job to work their way through it this time. This is Weeb. And Martins underneath, flings it back up high. Long shot, Katie Primo off the mark from the 3. Rebounded by Martin. She takes it in, can't get it to go. Loose ball out of bounds, back over to St. Joe's.
That was a good possession, though, by Aden Bowman. I mean, they got the ball inside. They kicked it back out for an open three. Offensive rebound. They look more balanced and poised. They beat the press. So, I mean, the shot didn't go in, but that's the kind of possession Bowman needs to keep repeating if they're going to get back in this thing.
Told you about the fact that Aden Bowman swept both of the regular season matchups during the season. He was first hooked up on January 11th. It was a 14-point victory at Aden Bowman for the Bears, 50-36. The final in that one, and then the game played at St. Joe's, a much tighter affair and a pretty low scoring affair, 38-35 the final in that one. 3-point victory for Aden Bowman. We expected maybe a bit more of a defensive battle tonight, kind of like that game, but so far a pretty good scoring pace in this girls basketball championship game.
Well, I mean, Joe's pressure has really made it more of an up and down game. And so Bowman has been taking quick shots for the most part, and Joe's in transition. They've been able to get some good looks fairly early in the shot clock. And as Joe's pressure has actually turned them over and gotten Bowman a little bit flustered, I think it's carried over to the defensive end. I don't think they're playing as well defensively as they were in the first quarter, and they're giving up more open looks to Joe's.
Nice crowd here at Bedford Road. Obviously a ton of family members in attendance. The nice thing I was thinking, Scott, is that unlike when we're often sitting here during Brit, it's not 10,000 degrees in here.
Yeah, it is nice not to be just sweating through my shirt at this point. Yeah.
Certainly we love that Brit atmosphere, but man, oh man, it can get toasty in the old Bedford gym. Coming out of the timeout, St. Joe's with the ball and the 7-point lead. Up top, Paige Johnson. Now she hands it off for Schwitzer. Schwitzer will look to attack in traffic. Doesn't get a great shot off. Bowman will come away with it. Poyer controls. And Primo picks up the dribble, looks inside for Martins. Martins gonna fling it back up high. Bit of a low pass for Weeb. Weeb will look to put up the shot on the run, off the glass and in.
There's a nice shot by Weeb and just a really good look. Little pump fake drive, no help, nobody in the middle of the lane.
And then more good defense from Aden Bowman, reading that one all the way. Anna Weeb, unfortunate for her, losing the handle on the other side. So St. Joe's will head in the other direction. Under a minute to go, first half of action from Bedford Road. Picking up the dribble, Hansen. And a jumper here from Paige Johnson, that one no good. Martins comes down with it. She again looks deep down the floor. Finds teammate. Now this is Poyer on the outside. This would be for two. Ball out of bounds, last touch by the Bears.
And the penetrating pitch game again results in a good look. I think Bowman just needs to keep with that formula.
35 seconds to go, first half. Guardians looking to take a lead to the locker room. More good defense getting in there. Anna Weeb denying another pass. St. Joe's hangs on to it. Schwitzer goes down to the ground, has to just kind of throw up a heave shot. Percentage is probably pretty low on those shots. I understand why she took it. She's losing her footing.
All of a sudden in the last minute here, Joe's just kind of fallen back and away from that full court defense. I'm not sure why.
Down to 4 seconds to go, first half. Last shot of the first half. That one off the mark for Katie Primo. And so at the half, it will be the St. Joe Guardians taking a 5-point lead over the Aden Bowman Bears into the locker room. Entertaining first half of action, Scott.
Yeah, both teams had their little runs. Bowman looks like they kind of have the last few possessions have calmed down offensively a little bit. Joe's, though, needs to keep that pressure on. It looked like they're backing off a little bit. That's how they've taken this lead. That's what they need to keep doing.
We're going to take a break. 34-29 is our score. Aden Bowman trailing St. Joe's by 5 at the half in the Girls City Championship game. You are watching high school championship basketball on Shaw TV. 20 minutes to go from Bedford Road Collegiate. At the half, it's 34-29. St. Joseph's Guardians with the 5-point lead over the Aden Bowman Bears. Take a look at some of the first half highlights in this one. In Bowman got off to a pretty good start, all things considered. Nice touch from outside there for Anna Weeb. She was the leading scorer for the Bears with 8 points in the first half of action. A nice putback there from Haley Poyer, who ended up with 6. And then Katie Primo 4 in the first half. St. Joe's really took things over in the second quarter. Good ball movement. They were able to turn the pressure into points. Leading scorer in the first half of play for St. Joe's, Malia Schwitzer. She ended up 13 points, hitting a couple, or pardon me, 3 big three-pointers to go with a bunch of free throws for St. Joe's. And here we see Avery Fellman driving, getting it to go. We'll look at Haley Poyer, the coach's daughter. Strong first half for her, but the Bears find themselves down 5 as we're ready to get things going here in the third quarter of play. Deep three-pointer by Thacker. Now back to live action. St. Joe's will kick off the third quarter with the ball up 5. Fallman controls. And this is Malia Schwitzer also out there. Alex Mann, Abby Hansen. Kara Miskey for St. Joe's. This is Miskey. She'll look to attack. Nice shot. Scoops it up underneath. Gets it to go.
And there were 4 Bowman players right there. Nobody quite closed the gate on that. Great take to the rim.
Out there for Bowman, Haley Poyer, Ella Weeb, D'Souza Martins. Katie Primo as well. Outside, this is Anna Weeb. Time getting short. Gonna have to be a desperation heave. Shot will be waved off. Didn't go anyway, but wouldn't have counted as the buzzer sounded. Good St. Joe defense. Guardians by 7, matching their largest lead of the game. Hansen losing her footing. Schwitzer now trying to muscle her way through traffic. Offensive foul.
Yeah, Bowman is really packing it in on these first 2 possessions. Joe's going to have to be a little bit under control. The first drive, you know, they didn't quite get there. That time the Bowman player did a great job of stepping in, taking a charge. Joe's going to be under control, realize you might have to come to a jump stop and kick it out. If they're packing it in, there's got to be open players on the perimeter.
Early going third quarter of action from Bedford Road Collegiate. Simon Hyatt, Scott Hawley, the whole Shaw TV team with you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Nice pass inside, open look. D'Souza Martins gets it to drop.
That was a great entry pass by Weeb. D'Souza Martins did a good job with a nice seal and just perfectly placed, undefensible without help there.
Fairly quiet game for Martins to this point. Those just her 4th and 5th points of the game. See if she can heat up in the second half. Jamming the rim on that shot. Abby Hansen's second shot won't go for Hishka. Ball out of bounds will stay with St. Joe's.
Joe seems to be determined to attack that rim, regardless of how many players Bowman's putting in the paint.
Just smash your way in there. This is Hishka. Outside look here possibly for Alex Mann or Abby Hansen. Instead, it's going to be Schwitzer for 3.
And that's how you make those condensed defenses pay. You drive in, kick it out, keep that ball moving, drive and kick, and eventually you're going to get a quality outside shot.
Schwitzer's outstanding night continues. She's up to 16 points on the night with that 3-pointers. We'll get a foul against Alicia Heshka. Martins. Weeb now to sister. Anna Weeb gets kind of stuck in the corner, gets it up top for Martins. Martins waits, puts up the jumper, well short on that one. Good hustle by Martins to track down that loose ball. And looks like we'll get a foul against St. Joe's. We get Heshka on it again.
Foul charge, number 21, Alicia Heshka.
I'm surprised she's going to come out, just picking up her 3rd.
14, Hannah Smith.
She'll be replaced by Hannah Smith of the Guardians. 3 pretty quick fouls to start the third quarter for the Guardians.
That's going to put them in the bonus in a hurry.
Weeb kicks it outside. Kaminsky can't get it to go. Somehow St. Joe's keeps that alive, gets the circus shot to go, and a chance at a three-point play. Wow.
That was an incredible, I mean, the pass should have been intercepted.
Yep.
She did a great job of coming back and just preventing the turnover for one thing, and then to be able to finish at the rim and an and one, that was just a great play.
Kara Miskey to the free throw line, hits it, that gives her 10 points on the night. Check it gives her 8 points on the night, I should say. First double-digit lead of the game on either side, and it's St. Joe's by 11. 7:11 to go third quarter. Nice take here, creating the opening, then finding the hoop. Katie Primo gets it to go.
It's a nice drive. Joe's has backed the pressure off a little bit. They're not nearly as aggressive, and I think they may find that a mistake. They may have to dial it back up again. That's where they had their most success in the first half.
Working it around on the exterior now are the Guardians. Now looking to attack, running take. That one won't go for Miskey. Poyer looking to take it in. Don't get much on it. Guardians will push. Open look. Kara Miskey for three, a little bit long on that three-point attempt. And for the rebound, Katie Primo. Drawing the double team is Martin. She kicks it outside for the open long look. That one's off the mark for Anna Weeb. This ball eventually controlled by St. Joe's. Looking deep, finding Kara Miskey. There's Addie Hansen. Once again, this is Hansen on the outside looking to attack. She's going to try and bounce it through the key. Finds her intended target, but Hannah Smith can't get the shot to go. Back within 9 is Aden Bowman. Another foul against a big for St. Joe's.
And that foul was really unnecessary. There was no real chance of a turnover there. We're just picking up a cheap foul. Get you the fourth foul of the quarter, one step closer. It's still 5:43 left here. You're going to be in the bonus with the next foul.
Aden Bowman, Sloan Harriet in. Get a timeout just as play was about to begin. Aden Bowman going to talk things over. They're down 9, and you know, it feels like they've had their openings here early going third quarter, Scott. The possibility to get back into this one. Not that they're out of it, but just haven't really been able to make the most of those opportunities.
No, but they're just missing shots, but they're taking good shots, I think, in this third quarter. I mean, you know, they've gotten the ball into the paint, they've gotten the ball into the post, and then back out again. They're taking good shots, and Joe's has backed off the defense a little bit. And I think defensively they're solid. I mean, they've Miskey made a couple of really nice drives with great finishes, but Bowman's got people there. You know, so I think that they're doing pretty well in the third quarter. It's just a matter of how some of these shots can actually drop.
Aden Bowman just 4 points here in the third quarter of play. Slower start to this one than what we saw in the first half. St. Joe's with only, if I could do the quick math, 8 points out of the locker room in a little over 4 minutes of play. A reminder, game 2 of our doubleheader coming up right after this one. It'll be the boys' final in Premier League high school basketball. St. Joseph at 9-0 taking on the 7-2 Marion Graham Falcons for the city championship. St. Joseph, one of the best teams in the province in boys basketball. Looking for a city title on their way to Hoopla. Back to live action in this one. Shot again, a good look at it. This time it's Poyer. Just off to the side. St. Joseph pushing the other direction. Might have been an extra step there. Ball out of bounds. Will stay with the Guardians. Substitution for the Bears. Sydney Dillman in. That'll send Poyer to the bench. Pat on the back from her mom as she makes her way back. Turnaround shot well off the mark for Paige Johnson of the Guardians. Martins, now Weeb. Almost turning it back over again. Aden Bowman then trying to wrap her way around, get the ball back into play for Katie Primo. Didn't get any help and ends up going out of bounds with it.
That was a tough possession. Joe's has kind of gone away from Schwitzer there here in the last few minutes.
Which is an
Just
interesting decision.
Red hot early, here we go. There you go.
Beautiful drive, gets it to go. That gives her 18 on the night.
Now they're picking up the pressure again, which is how they kind of took control of this game in the first place.
Back to a double-digit lead. Looked like Schwitzer might have gotten a bit of a shot to the gut there. Guardians on the run. Foul against Aden Bowman. Guardians force another turnover. Kara Miskey on the run draws the contact.
And Miskey does a great job of getting to that rim, and she gets that ball off. Even against some taller players, she's able to change her delivery angle and get that ball up and over the arms. She's really good at finishing around the rim.
Short on the first free throw attempt for Kara Miskey. Jenna Redding is checked into the game for St. Joe's wearing number 11. That gives Schwitzer a rest. I thought she might have taken a shot to the stomach in that previous Aden Bowman possession. Primo controls, having to tiptoe around midcourt. Now she needs to find someone to pass to. Does get it into the hands of D'Souza Martins. Martins trying to work her way through, turns it over. Martins gets it back, however. Now finds her teammate Weeb. Time getting short. Gonna have to put it up. Oh, and a bad foul. Time getting short on the shot clock there. Look, we're gonna get Jenna Redding for the foul.
Foul charge to number 11.
Yeah, you know, play 20 seconds of great defense.
Yeah.
And just a bit of a miscue. She got a little close, gave up the baseline where she had no help, and ended up committing the foul.
So Katie Primo to the free throw line. Her first trip there tonight with 6 points. No good on that attempt. So remains a 12-point St. Joe's lead, 4:12 to go, third quarter. Primo 1 for 2. First court trap there from Aden Bowman. Good job to work through it by Miskey. Gets it over into the hands of Redding. Well, that pass got through. Fall away shot. That one won't go. Second chance. Instead, kicking it back out. Redding on the run. That shot blocked. I think getting a hand on it was Katie Primo, and the Bears come away with it. Primo controls. Now we'll look to take it all the way as kind of clears out underneath. Easy lay-in for Primo.
She's made that spin move a couple times. Been successful both times. Just to keep being aggressive and keep going at it.
Good job to keep that possession alive for Fallman. Leads to the open take. That one off the mark.
Really critical 3:20 here for Bowman. They've got a really nice window to maybe cut into this lead. They've had a couple decent possessions now in a row.
On the outside, Primo. Now she picks up the dribble, gets it into the hands of Martins. Dolman outside and buries it for 3. Great touch. Sydney Dillman, first points of the night. And St. Joe's, well, it's been a game of runs now. Momentum may be swinging back over to Aden Bowman.
And Joe's is going to get a timeout here. A much needed timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. Back within 6 points are the Aden Bowman Bears. Take a look at the standings in the regular season. Told you these were the top 2 teams in the league, both coming into the playoffs at 11-3 on the regular season, with Aden Bowman sweeping both of the matchups between these two teams, pardon me. Aden Bowman's losses coming to Walter Murray on December 12th and Centennial on December 14th. Then they had one late in the year against Holy Cross, a 4-point loss on February 15th. Centennial ended up 3rd in the league at 10-4. Walter Murray Holy Cross tied for 4th at 8-6. BJM at 5-9. Bethlehem at 2-12. And what's going on there? Tommy Douglas, Scott, 1-13 for the girls team.
Well, you know, a rebuilding year.
All right.
You know.
Scott teaches at Tommy Douglas. I just thought maybe he had some insight.
But there was that one.
What's that?
There was that one.
Yeah, there was that one.
Big
Absolutely.
day. Yeah.
Got to take pride in that. 2:51 to go, third quarter here. Aden Bowman with a little bit of momentum, down 6. St. Joe's remaining in the press. Scott mentioned, though, perhaps not quite as ferocious as it had been in the first half. Picking up the intensity a little bit as Bears getting near midcourt.
Yeah, you can see coming out of the timeout, though, they did pick it up and they tried to get a double team there. So I think they are going to dial it back up again.
Almost losing the handle. Primo, time getting short. Ball go out of bounds. Officials look at each other and say, going back over to the Guardians.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why they backed off in the first place. I mean, I know there's some risk reward with the press, but they hadn't been getting beaten at all with it, and it was the source of their energy, and they had Bowman totally on the ropes. I think they need to keep being aggressive with it.
Another Guardians turnover as that pass intended for Peyton Toms from Karamiski goes out of bounds. Good job, almost keeping it alive on the sideline there was Peyton Toms. I began to get a little worried for my life there for a second.
I got
coming right at me.
Yeah.
You ready? Thanks,
I
buddy.
got you.
2:16 to go, third quarter. Still a 6-point St. Joe's lead. Aden Bowman's trying to chip away at it. Guardians have perhaps opened the door for them here in the third quarter. Primo, pick up the dribble. Now over to Weeb. She'll look to attack, trying to find the opening, waits and waits, puts up the shot, can't get it to go. Under 2 to go, third quarter. Bowman led pretty much the entire first quarter. St. Joe's took it over in the second and haven't looked back since. And now it's back to a lead of 8. Nice touch from outside for Schwitzer.
Yeah, Bowman just backed totally off into the paint. They kind of lost track. Part of their defensive strategy, but you can't leave a wide open shooter like that.
Looking inside, that one disrupted once again. Said it was Schwitzer. It was Hansen who actually hit that last three-pointer. Looking for 2 more was Alex Mann. Gets the rebound on her own miss. Hansen able to keep it alive for St. Joe's. Now looking inside, knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Martins. They stay with St. Joe's. Bears send in a couple of fresh bodies. Maya Thakor, Haley Poyer back into the game. Long inbounds pass. Finds Peyton Toms. So we hit the 1-minute mark here in the third quarter. Toms trying to work her way through, losing the handle. Good Bowman defense getting in there and disrupting things. And nearly knocking it out from behind. Martin's able to hang on to it. Poyer open look for 3. She hits!
That's only a 2. Her foot, she stepped into that thing. Foot's going to be on the line. Now Bowman's picking up the pressure now a little bit.
Yeah.
And then St. Joe's is actually looking a little bit rushed these last few possessions.
Joe's from the corner. That one well short. Lands in the lap of Paige Johnson. But her shot is knocked back. Here you go, Scott. Oh. One of these times, we're going to get a souvenir. If it lands here, I'm gone. That's it.
That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I just came for a free basketball.
Back over to St. Joe's. 7-point lead for the Guardians. Shot clock off. They could hold for the last shot of the third quarter. Shot rims out for Hansen. So now it's Bowman with 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Running take, gonna get a last second foul. It's gonna be called on Abby Hansen and a pair of free throws for Katie Primo.
Yeah, Primo, another really strong drive to the rim. It was gonna be a left-handed shot as well, so you wonder if you could just have backed off a little bit. It would have been probably a low percentage shot, but Primo really aggressive with the drive and forced the foul.
Primo now up to 10 points on the night as she hits the first one. Pulls the Bears back within 6, and she's got another coming. Short on the second attempt. Oh, and Primo in there to try and put it back. Just ran out of time. A good hustle, good awareness to get in there. And Aden Bowman does pull back within 6 as we head to the final 10 minutes of play. 48-42 our score after 3 quarters. Didn't feel like, as we alluded to, Scott, St. Joe's maybe, you know, they'd really tightened things up in the second quarter, made a good comeback, took over in the second quarter, held the lead for a long time, but seemed like you said, kind of maybe started to go away a little bit from the things that were working from them in the second quarter.
I'm not sure why they backed off there in the third quarter, and it did cost them. Bowman got right back into it, and Bowman actually picked up a little bit of the defensive pressure, and they really scrapped and got right back in it. So now, heading into the fourth quarter, it's really kind of a toss-up here.
Anna Wiebe, a quiet third quarter for the Aden Bowman Bears. She's still at 8 points. Taking over the scoring lead for the Bears is Katie Primo. She's up to 10 now. 8 for Haley Boyer for Aden Bowman, so they're distributing the scoring well. Malia Schwitzer continuing to lead the way for the St. Joseph Guardians. She's up to 18 on the night. 8 points for Abby Hansen. As well, 8 for Kara Miskey in the game. Hannah Smith, Alicia Hishka held off the score sheet in the second half for St. Joe's.
I thought Joe's kind of went away from Schwitzer a little bit. I mean, she had 1 drive to the basket, 1 shot beyond that, but they really went long stretches without her really touching the ball or being involved. And she had such a hot hand. You know, you want to keep riding that if you can. Keep looking for her in the fourth quarter.
10 minutes to go until we've decided a champion in the Premier League. Girls high school basketball here in Saskatoon. Simon Hyatt, Scott Hawley with you tonight from Bedford Road. Game 1 of our doubleheader. A little bit of a miscommunication there. I think St. Joe's didn't realize which way Aden Bowman was heading, and Martins ends up with the easy lay-in. That's a big mental error from St. Joe's right there. Now Bowman really aggressive with the half-court trap there. All last touch by the Bears. Joe's has been kind of turnover prone early on, especially when they're pressured, and you know, Bowman probably is best served to extend that defense out. I know they kind of want to do that pack line thing, but St. Joe's is not exactly careful with the ball when they're pressured. First 3-point attempt from Kara Miskey off the mark. St. Joe's with the offensive board. This is Hansen. Now she kicks it over to Schwitzer. Schwitzer going to try and attack. Good defense by Martins to deny the shot. She'll pick up the dribble. Now into the hands of Haley Poyer. Primo. Now Thacker. Back to Hoyer on the far side. Thacker looking to push her way in. Primo trying to work her way through, and some contact on the inside, and we'll get free throws. And Primo getting inside the paint with those drives is producing good results for Bowman. That time it was on a pass. We've seen several times with finishes near the rim. She needs to keep attacking with that left-handed dribble from that right wing. It's working really well. Anna Wiebe to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Can't get the friendly roll on the first one. She had 8 points in the first half. Thus far has been held off the score sheet here in the second half. Second one will drop. That gives her 9 in the game. Pulls the Bears back within 3. 9:03 to go. Fourth quarter play in this championship final. St. Joe's again being a little scrambly with the ball. Nice take underneath. That one, however, won't drop for Kara Miskey. Well, that time Joe's actually got somebody to the middle of the floor and attacked that pressure really smartly with an actual press break, and they got a layup attempt out of it. Boyer now looking to take it in, goes left-handed, can't get it. Second chance for Bowman. Ashley D'Souza Martins gets it to go, and a chance at a 3-point play. And here's kind of where your difference maker can come in. Your big and strong inside presence, offensive board, finish it off. She's got to take over in this last 8 minutes. Yeah, if they keep driving to the rim, they keep getting those balls up on the rim, let her just go and chase it on the offensive glass. Martins can't tie it, however, an offensive rebound for Aden Bowman. Stuck there in the corner, however, was Katie Primo. We'll get a tie-up over there. Possession arrow favoring St. Joe's. mentioned it earlier, that bit of a quiet start for D'Souza Martins. She's now up to 9 points on the night. 6 of those coming here in the second half of play. Dribbling through underneath is Miski. She gets it up top for Schwitzer. Schwitzer will now look to drive. More good defense from Aden Bowman on the inside. Martins not allowing anything in there. Bowman can take the lead here. Turnaround shot. Wrong angle off the glass for Anna Weed.
Schwitzer the last couple times has driven, left her feet, and taken wild shots. It's a better look, even though it didn't go down, but she's sort of out of control here a little bit, almost like she's pressing a little too much.
7:50 to go. Martins draws the double team, somehow able to keep it alive, finds a wide open teammate for 3. That one no good for Primo. Offensive rebound for St. Joe's, out of bounds over to St. Joe's.
Checking in for the Guardians.
Substitutions for the Guardians. Back into the game. Alicia Heshka, Avery Fallman. They hold a 1-point lead. Not the crispest of passes there.
That's not the answer. You got that 1-2-2 look. You know, you need to get that. They had a cutter toward the middle a couple possessions ago and beat it quite easily.
Guardians do maintain the possession. Miski directing traffic. This is Mann now back up top for Miski. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Quick look here, nice touch from outside. Avery Fallman hits for 3. So back up to a 4-point lead. As we approach the 7-minute mark, a little bit of a shove there as we've made her move towards the basket. I believe that's going to be the 4th foul of the game on Alicia Heshka. She'll head out.
It was actually not that bad a foul. She got beat badly and kind of committed the foul on the floor rather than otherwise there's probably going to be a layup attempt.
Right.
I mean, it's your 4th foul, but St. Joe's got some depth. Probably better than giving up a layup at this point. But you like to have those quicker feet.
Ella Weeb back in for Aden Bowman. Paige Johnson in for St. Joe's. Thacker will pick up the dribble. Teammate Weeb was cutting towards the basket. Ball go out of bounds. Will stay with Aden Bowman. 10 on the shot clock. Boyer looking to get it into the hands of Katie Primo. Instead out of bounds and back over to St. Joe's. .6:45 to go. Good job this time of working through that pressure underneath. That shot won't drop for Miski. Second chance for St. Joseph. Miski puts it back outside. Now up top. This is Hansen. That one off for Fallman. Bowman being harassed all the way up.
Soon, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very close. That was right at 8 seconds when it went over half.
Good job to fight through it by Katie Primo. Gets eventually some help from Ella Weeb, but now Bowman not a lot of time to work with on the shot clock. Weeb will put up the jumper. That one no good. Get a foul on the loose ball. Foul going to be called against Ashley D'Souza Martins of the Bears. Shot to the head.
Both times now St. Joe's run their press break against this 1-2-2. They've gotten layup opportunities, right? They have to get that player to the middle of the floor, run their press break, just take care of business.
This is Johnson. Gets it over to Fallman. Fallman kick it back up high for Hansen. Now Miski for 3. That one comes up short.
Yeah, some good looks for St. Joe's. Nothing's going down for them right now. Keeping Bowman in this game.
Thacker for Weeb. Now back to Thacker. She bounces it in for Martins. She's going to pull back out. Now snaps it across for Weeb. Weeb will look to drive. Can't get it to go, but will shoot a pair.
The defense was good for the first half, and then they just, nobody came over to help. Easy dribble drive to the rim. Nobody was moving their feet. Nobody stepped over to help. Like we said earlier, you get played 20 seconds of good defense, and it doesn't take much for it to all fall apart. That's why you got to keep making that defense work for the whole 24.
Ella Wiebe to the free throw line, misses the front end. She's got 5 points on the night. Second one will drop, that makes it a 3-point game. Joe's good job to get it into the front court this time. Hansen, now open look from the corner. Alex Mann well off the mark.
Yeah, that's not a good shot. That's obviously.
Good play there by Thacker to prevent that one from going out of bounds. Keeps it alive for Bowman. Now she finds Wiebe. Wiebe makes a move towards the basket, goes off the glass, can't get it to go. Second chance, Martin's there to put away.
That was a great backdoor cut by Wiebe. She got a really good look on it again. You get that thing up on the glass, good things happen.
Now looking to attack on the other end. Miskey can't get it to go. 1-point game, 4:40 to go. Primo now up to 12 points on the night. Thacker for 3, off to the left side. Ball loose, still loose. Eventually St. Joe's corrals it. Coming away is Paige Johnson. She gets it into the hands of Miskey. This is Hansen. Now Fallman. Miskey's gonna put it up from outside. That one well long.
I'm not sure if they realized the shot clock didn't reset.
Yeah. Once again, 1 second on the shot clock, we get the foul call.
Yeah, those are tough to take. You play great defense, and it's especially something like that where it's just a bounce on an air ball and you just don't chase it down, and that should be your ball going the other way. 1 more second.
Missing the front end, Alex Mann.
St. Joe's really hasn't capitalized on any of the opportunities they've had. Good looks, bad looks, they're just missing everything right now.
That's allowed Aden Bowman to be within 2 points. As Mann hits the free throw. Subs for Aden Bowman. Sydney Dillman, Anna Wiebe back in. We'll send Thacker and Primo to the bench. Bowman gets it into the front court well this time. This is Dillman. Now Martin snaps it across into the hands of Poyer. Poyer will put up the long shot for 2. Gives her 10 points on the night and ties the game up at 52. Good ball movement by St. Joe's. 2-point St. Joseph lead. Alex Mann underneath.
Yeah, Miskey made, that was an excellent pass. Great vision and put it in the perfect spot.
Then more good defense by St. Joe's. Miskey with the steal and the lay-in. Timeout, Aden Bowman.
That was an incredible sequence by Miskey. The great vision, perfect pass, gets the steal and the layup. That's a momentum turning play right there.
Gives St. Joe's back the 4-point lead after Aden Bowman had tied it. 3:25 to go in this championship final. Game 1 of our doubleheader tonight. If you missed it earlier this week, we had another doubleheader of basketball. Paul Hengen and I had the call on that as we had the championship games in the Championship League. Big congratulations to the Saskatoon Christian School in girls basketball as they downed Evan Hardy 65-46. And Bedford Road coming up with a championship in Championship League play action, completing their perfect season. Really entertaining game in that boys game. 90-83 was the final as they beat Saskatoon Christian. If you weren't able to check out any of our broadcasts, you can see those games on the Shaw TV Saskatoon YouTube page. Those games will be there, and these ones eventually will be as well. Love bringing you the high school sports. Something we've been trying to expand over the last few years, and it's a lot of fun to cover. Reset the situation, 56-52 our score, 3:25 to go. St. Joe's with the 4-point lead, Aden Bowman with the ball. The winner is the city champion. St. Joe's continuing to press. doesn't seem like it's, you sometimes worry with the press about fatigue for a team. It doesn't really seem to be affecting St. Joe's all that much, at least.
No, they're playing a pretty deep rotation.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have maybe a team of maybe 6 or 7, then it could be an issue, but deeper rotation, not as big an issue. And really, I mean, they're not sort of man pressure. They're not getting really, I don't know, a ton of extra, I guess extra, what am I trying to say
Exertion
here?
on the cardiovascular side of things.
Yeah, I mean, you can apply sort of 3/4 court pressure, and you can kind of fall back out of it and kind of pace yourself a little bit. It's more about just slowing them down in a sense as well, and making them use shot clock so they get into their offense with maybe 12 seconds to go, 14 seconds to go kind of thing.
Anna Weed misses both of her free throw attempts. And the second one, Ashley D'Souza Martins there for the Bowman offensive rebound, and she draws the foul and will head to the free throw line.
There's nothing that will drive you more nuts as a coach than you have that inside rebounding position, missed free throw, they get the offensive rebound and a score. It just drives you crazy.
Martins goes 1 for 2. Thought Bowman might get the ball back again, and they might yet, tying it up in there for Aden, Bowman, Haley Poyer. Ball will go back to the Bears. So they've made it a 2-point game. Martins now up to 10 on the night with that free throw made. It's on the outside, being marked by Paige Johnson. Now into the corner for 3, nice touch, Sydney Dillman. And long outlet pass once again. St. Joe's putting themselves in good position to answer, just unable to finish it are the Guardians. That was Mann who had the look on the other end. All tied up at 56. Another Bowman miss. They track down the loose ball once again, so they can reset. Martins pulls it back out. Open look, Haley Poyer, that one off the mark. Back come the Guardians. Miskey spinning her way through, can't get it to go. Second chance. We'll get a foul on the inside. Coming down with the rebound was Paige Johnson.
Top charge, number 14, Anna Weed.
Anna Weed called for it for the Bears.
That previous sequence there, Bowman did a great job of capitalizing on those extra possessions they got due to the free throw rebounding. Able to tie this thing up.
Bit of a delay here at the scorer's table. One official is going to call the other one over. One of the nice things when I do play-by-play for the Huskies basketball is I'm actually sitting at the scorer's bench, and so I often have a vague idea of what these delays are.
Well,
we're across the court this time. Any thoughts?
They had the game tied, and they added the extra point for the three-point shot from the corner there to make it 57-56.
St. Joe's controls. Jumper, that one rims out for Miskey. Ball on the floor. Possession arrow favoring the Guardians. 2:03 to go. St. Joe's with the ball, down 1. Bowman, long inbounds pass. Finds Miskey. That one off the mark for Fallman. Another offensive rebound for St. Joe's. Lots of offensive rebounds on both sides. Guardians will reset. Now looking to drive Miskey off the glass and in.
Another great finish by Miskey. Yeah, as you mentioned too, off those offensive rebounds, Bowman in that zone. One of the things in a zone, it's a little tough to rebound because you don't have a person to box out sometimes, and Bowman paid the price there.
Miskey up to 12 on the night. Long shot, that one off the mark for Dillman. So now it's St. Joe's with the 1-point lead and the ball. Mann gonna put up the quick jumper. That one rims out. Martins comes down with the defensive board. She'll push in the other direction. Nice pass up ahead, but Weed loses the handle out of bounds.
That was a tough pass. It was the right idea. She threaded the needle perfectly, but that's a tough catch. She was almost too far into the basket, but she was trying to haul that one in. Unfortunate for Bowman.
So a 1-point St. Joseph lead in the timeout. 1:12 to go. Talking about the St. Joseph team, we told you that they went 11-3 on the regular season. Lost both of their games to this Aden Bowman Bears team. Their other loss coming back on January 17th. Centennial actually blew them out 77-54 at Centennial. Both of these teams, we know, will advance to Hoopla next weekend. Being played in Prince Albert from Saskatoon, the Centennial Chargers will also join them at Hoopla after their win in the third place game earlier this afternoon here at Bedford Road. If you weren't with us earlier for our recap, the final score in that one, 78-71, as Centennial downed Walter Murray behind 27 points from Caitlin Jockums. Emma Engen for the Marauders had 32 in the loss for Walter Murray. So congratulations as well to Centennial as they will join St. Joseph and Aden Bowman at Provincials. Which team will head there as the city champions? The next minute and 12 of gameplay. Well, could decide it. Could also be heading for some overtime. You never know with the way this one's been going. St. Joseph with the lead on the ball and a careless turnover. That pass looking inside. Paige Johnson, a trio of Bears there to deny it.
Yeah, that was a terrible decision. That had no hope.
Under a minute to go. Dillman gets it back out for Martins. Martins works her way through to the left, picks up the dribble, gets it over into the hands of Primo. Primo bounces it back to Martins. Time getting short. Martins hits. 1 point lead for Aden Bowman. Looking for the quick answer. What a take. Kara Miskey gets it to go. She's got a chance at a three-point play.
Tell you what, D'Souza Martins made an excellent shot of the baseline down there before you had a chance to comment on anything. Man, Miskey is just, man, she's aggressive. She takes it to the rim. She finishes like Kyrie Irving or something.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow, she's done a great job of getting to the rim and making all kinds of great finishes tonight.
Miskey with an outstanding second half, now up to 14 points in the game. Completes the three-point play, gives St. Joe's the 2-point lead. And now Aden Bowman gonna take a timeout. 42.2 to go. Man, you can't ask for much more in a title game than this, Scott.
Yeah, this has been awesome. It's been two teams really playing well down the stretch. They both kind of figured out their turnover issues for the most part and have made some really aggressive plays down the stretch. They both made some shots, made a big three by Bowman there a few minutes ago. They went on a nice little run. Miskey's been just taking it to the rim relentlessly. Kind of she's the story of the second half. Schwitzer in the first half of that big half. Miskey just taking it hard to the rim. And yeah, we're gonna have a great last 42 seconds, I think.
Yeah, getting another look at that drive by Miskey. I appreciate it even more. What an outstanding take, driving through traffic, drawing the contact. And, you know, if you didn't see the ball go through the hoop and you were guessing what's going to happen on that play, I wouldn't have guessed she would be able to hit that shot. But man, oh man, what a great take. What a game for Kara Miskey.
Now, if you're St. Joe's, you have to decide now how you want to defend this. They're going to get the ball at half court. Do you want to pressure up high again and really force the issue, or sort of sit back? If I'm Joe's, I'm pressuring hard. That's what got you here. And Bowman has shown, you know, a tendency to perhaps turn it over when pressured. I think you want to keep being aggressive and turn it up, even though there might be a little bit of a risk. Do what got you here.
42.2 to go. Bowman with the ball, as Scott mentioned, inbounding it mid-court. Into the hands of Poyer. Bears down two. Poyer picks up the dribble, snaps it across into the hands of Primo. Primo looking to drive. She goes off the glass, tied up at 61.
A great drive. Same thing she was doing from the left side. Great right-hand drive.
About a 7-second difference between shot and game clock.
If I had to guess, I'd say Miskey's going to the rim here.
Foul called as she did make her move towards the rim, as Scott speculated.
She's going to get to shoot.
So Miskey to the free throw line. Having put this team on her back here in the second half. It's Been the Karamiski show second half of this game after Leah Schwitzer was really the story in the first half, missing the front end, however, Karamiski. So still tied up at 61, 17.4 showing on the clock. Guardians will get lined up. Talked about how big offensive rebounds have been here in the second half. Miski misses the second one as well. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? It's Miski who tracks it down, but loses her footing. Out of bounds over to Aden Bowman.
That was really unfortunate. She did a great job of hustling down and just slipped and fell, getting her foot out of bounds. And now, yeah, if you're Joe's, pressure.
13.9 on the clock. All tied up at 61. This is Anna Weed getting it into the front court for Bowman. Dangerous pass there. Primo keeps it alive. Now looking to drive off bounds. Gets it to go. 2-point Aden Bowman lead. Now officials will get together and talk. Huge shot
they got
by
a timeout,
Primo.
I think. The clock should have stopped as soon as the ball went through the hoop. And then I assume there's going to be a timeout if they score situation. So there'll probably be a little bit more time put on the clock. Joe's will get a timeout, I assume. Nope.
See, head coach Megan Carl over at the scorer's table.
No timeout.
Without the timeout, but they will have 2.8 seconds. Down 2. A 2 will tie it, a 3 will win it. Here's Miski into the front court. On the run! Off the glass, it won't go! Aden Bowman Bears are city champions. Karamiski did absolutely everything she could to try and win it for St. Joe's, but what a finish.
Boy, that looked like that Gordon Hayward shot for Butler against Duke a few years ago. That was even more. That thing was halfway down.
Yeah.
Halfway down.
Off the glass, rattled around, wouldn't drop. Everyone held their breath, and it doesn't. And Aden Bowman completes the sweep over St. Joseph on the season. They beat them 3 times, and this time it's for the city championship. Take another look at this last second play, just over 2 seconds. Miski, no surprise, receiving the inbound pass, carries it all the way into the front court. Look at this, off the glass, rattles around, almost winning on that second chance. No good.
That's
What a
as
finish.
close as you can get without that thing actually going down. You know, when they first gave it to her so deep in the backcourt, I thought they made a mistake, and she did a great job. So many times players heave it up too early. She maximized every second of that before getting it off. But going back, you got to give it to Primo for another great drive. Took it to the rim, made a nice little feathery touch to give them the lead, and she had made that move from the left and from the right. And just a money shot when it counted for Bowman.
Katie Primo ends up with 16 points on the night to lead the Aden Bowman Bears. No basket bigger than the one that came with just over 2 seconds to go, giving her Aden Bowman Bears the city title. Both of these teams, still some basketball to play, but man, you can see the emotion over on the St. Joe's side. A real heartbreaker for them, but they did all they could.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to lose a game like that when you know you're right in it. But, you know, I mean, they'll play again next week, and they'll have a chance to win a provincial title still, so there's that. But
63-61, the final score in this one. Congratulations again to the Aden Bowman Bears. Aden Bowman, 2017-2018 city champions. St. Joe's, an outstanding season. Be great to see if these teams could maybe meet up next weekend in Prince Albert. Who knows? But Aden Bowman Bears are the city champions. A reminder, one more game coming your way tonight. If your heart can take it, we've got the boys championship game coming up in about 27 minutes time, as it will be St. Joe's looking to complete the perfect season, taking on the Marion Graham Falcons, who come in at 7-2 on the regular season. Until then, on behalf of Scott Hawley and the whole Shaw TV team, I'm Simon Hyatt. Thanks for watching.